Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to your favorite channel. And this case is just getting started. Tuju has decided to hold the bull by the horn. You heard what CHEBUKATI put as in his affidavit. CHEBUKATI decided to call spade a spade. He didn't want to call spade a big spoon. So he decided to mention Tuju, knowing very well that Tuju was not going to respond. But shockingly, Tuju has come out guns blazing, and if whatever we had in the press conference is anything to go by, then CHEBUKATI has a lot of work to do. The petition from Azimio One Kenya Alliance, and with all those affidavits from the fellow commissioners of CHEBUKATI, and then CHEBUKATI dragging the name of Tuju into this mix, and the name of Amos Wako, I think this is going to make life impossible at the IEBC for CHEBUKATI. So ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, allow me to share a video about what Tuju said.
Further concerned by the fact that by that time CHEBUKATI had made a ruling that all the returning officers from the counties must report to him first before the papers are verified on the floor of the hall. I had concerns about that because he was himself closed in that room with Mr. Molu and Mr. Marjan, and therefore it was obvious to me that something opaque was taking place. Finally, I did insist that nobody was going to stop me from getting into that office. I'm a Kenyan citizen, and I'm not trying to do anything wrong. So I told his own security people that I also have security, and you'll have to shoot me to stop me from getting in. And I went in. And I found him with Molu, Marjan, and himself. And I brought these matters with him, and he told me he's busy now, he's got too many returning officers waiting for him, so he'll not be able to attend to me. So he told me to come later. I was polite, I left, I came back later at 8 o'clock. Then he told me, come back probably about midnight. I came back at midnight, he told me, come back at 2. I came back at 2, and he was sleeping. So I agreed with the people who were there that let's let him have some sleep. He had not slept for many days. So I waited until 4 a.m. And that's the time when I drew the attention of somebody like Amos Wako, who is a personal friend, and a few others, that we should go.
So speaking during that press briefing, Tuju said CHEBUKATI had planned a secret meeting with him at a location in Karen, and dared CHEBUKATI to explain the details of that meeting. You know, when CHEBUKATI said that he had some evidences that he should showcase or rather present in the courts, he never knew that Tuju was also smart. And you know, when Tuju said that in 3 instances, he received meetings from the 3 commissioners who supported William Samoei Ruto's win. But mind you, in that meeting, we've not heard about the 4 other commissioners as to having visited Tuju at his current residence. Tuju has made the claims that the 3 commissioners appear to be auctioneers as opposed to being commissioners. Mind you, the biggest job that the 3 commissioners have, that the 3 commissioners who are led by CHEBUKATI, is to play the role of patriots and be the commissioners that they were, and play the role that they were assigned. But these people, according to what Tuju has alleged, is that they were playing the role of an auctioneer. And what does an auctioneer do? You have a property that you like to dispose, you make it in the public with the customers available, and you start auctioning, giving prizes. Who has 2,000, 3,000? So the highest bidder secures the item. So could it be that the highest bidder secured the Form 34D certificate? And if what Tuju is saying is true, then are we foreseeing a scenario whereby now, or are we witnessing a scenario whereby the highest bidder was William Samoei Ruto? Ladies and gentlemen, I was beginning to tell you that this whole case is beginning to be so interesting. We were always told about the smartmatic guys and the hacking and misuse of the credential, the passwords. We were told about Sunkuli and Gladys Bush. Little did you know that there was the auctioneering part, that part of the IEBC commissioners decided to be auctioneers. But that has been exposed by Tuju himself. This is what Tuju is telling Chebukati during that press conference. Chebukati should be honest enough to tell Kenyans what he was discussing with UDA officials Josephat Nanok and Veronica Maina as soon as we finished our 4 a.m. meeting. Mind you, when Tuju started making these revelations, he started by correcting Chebukati and telling him, no, look, it was not 3 a.m., but it was 4 a.m. So that means Tuju was determined to present to the Kenyans this case as it was. And Tuju is saying that, okay, fine, in your affidavit, you mentioned me and you mentioned Amos Wako. You also even went on far as mentioning even security organs in that meeting. You even went as far as roping IG Mutiambai's name in this. But why didn't you mention what happened after we left your office? Because Tuju is saying that we were 10 of us. You've not mentioned all the 10 people, and it could not have been possible that we discuss mandatory offering in the presence of all those 10 people. If you were to discuss a deal, then it would have been maybe something that is being done privately. But then Tuju is telling Chebukati again, why didn't you mention Josephat Nanok? Why didn't you mention Veronica Maina? Because in attendance, immediately outside that meeting, Tuju said that there was Nanok and Veronica Maina. There's a part where I think he said that Marjan, if not Marjan, then Orgulie, one of them went to the toilet with his phone and took a lot of time at that location. So what Tuju was trying to tell us could be that there was some communication that was being made in the toilet with maybe some officials and the like. So that's why Tuju says that the official took a lot of time at the toilet, and soon after he came back, and when Tuju was leaving the office, that's when he met Nanok and Veronica Maina right outside, waiting for that meeting to end so that they can also troop in. So that happened at around 4 to 5 a.m. So that's why Tuju is coming gas blazing, telling Chebukati that if you are preferring to disclose, then disclose everything. Don't disclose details in parts. And Tuju has gone to an extent of daring Chebukati that, I will release the footages that indicated that you came to my place at odd hours, at midnight, night hours. We don't know about this, we don't know whether these are true, but we know very well that if push comes to shove, then I think Tuju will have to relinquish the CCTV footages as promised to the DCI for further forensic audit or forensic investigation. So like I was telling you, ladies and gentlemen, this case is beginning to get interesting. Ladies and gentlemen, perhaps if you're watching our channel and you have not subscribed, please support us by subscribing. You give us a like, you hit the notification bell so that every time we upload a video, you will become the first person to get notified. Now, since Chebukati decided to bring IG Mutiambai, Amos Wako, and Tuju and a certain lawyer into this mix, I think Chebukati needs to plan himself again to provide evidences to this meeting. That's why I was saying when I made my previous analysis that Chebukati has decided to bring a shallow affidavit that is full of, just propaganda, full of allegations, because Chebukati will have to prove that the meeting that they held, the contents of that meeting revolve around bribing him. Chebukati has a role to provide that audio that he says he has. But what I know about Tuju is that Tuju's case will be a bit easier because Tuju has footages. So if it's true that these people attended or went to Tuju's residence, then of course there are footages. And those footages will make this case more interesting because it will provide a proof that true Chebukati paid Tuju a visit at that night hour. So, dear ladies and gentlemen, are you seeing what I'm seeing? Because if you're seeing what I'm seeing, then I think Chebukati is in hot soup. How will Chebukati survive the onslaught? From the onslaught, because right now Tuju has made it clear that he's filing an affidavit. I think by now that has been done, because at the time he was issuing that press conference, his lawyers were working on a document that was to be presented to the Supreme Court for so that they can be filed in. Will they be waiting for that day for the case to commence? I think it should be around Tuesday there, but the last day is tomorrow. I'm not sure, but that's it according to the calendar. So Chebukati needs to plan himself well, because from what I see, all hell might have broken loose. I don't think he survived. All these allegations, all the affidavits, all of them leading to the same point. And if you look at the affidavits, that you find that all these affidavits lead to misuse of powers, lead to possible sabotage, possible infiltration of IEBC system, and all of these affidavits are heading to the same direction. No, ladies and gentlemen, allow me to wind up there. But I think going forward, this Tuju Chebukati altercation will not end. I think we're going to see more of this during the court process. So let's be patient. Let's wait for what will transpire. But until then, I'd like to urge you to support our channel by subscribing to it and live peacefully. And until we meet again, please take care and stay blessed.